Okay, hello everyone, Jade here. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. You may know me as Astro with a 0 instead of an O, Jade on Twitter, or you might know me for co-hosting the Blame It on the Stars podcast, an astrology podcast where we give you all the tea on what's happening in the universe so you can blame your problems on the motherfucking stars. Anyway, so today I am here because I know my clientele wants some astrology readings. We're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna talk all about this full moon in Virgo situation. This is a new channel. I'm still figuring out what exactly I want to post on here. I'm thinking as far as the astrology videos go, we're gonna do new and full moon readings. There's gonna be horoscopes for all signs, so definitely stay till the end to get all of the horoscope information. I'm even gonna pull some little cards for you all, and I think it'll be cute. So let's discuss this full moon in Virgo. So the full moon in Virgo occurs this Saturday, February 27th, and full moons are notorious for being a period of like releasing. It's sort of like out with the old so you can bring in new energy, new vibes. It's very fresh. Well, it's not fresh. It's usually very emotional. Not even gonna lie there. Full moons are like kind of known for being in a very strong day in terms of energy. You usually start feeling really just emotional, really tired, and Virgo's not even really the most like emotional sign that there is. It's really not. It's an earth sign, but we're in Pisces season, and Pisces energy can be very, emotional. Not saying that because they're a water sign, because every single sign is emotional, and I don't like that little chatter about water signs being emotional, when reality is we all have emotions, but I digress. So for this full moon in Virgo, it's gonna, for a lot of us, feel very cleansing in a way. If you think about Virgo energy just by nature, it's like got that reputation for being clean. Obviously it depends on your whole chart. If you're a Virgo and you're like, I have a messy room, like I get you, I understand. You might have some other stuff going on in your chart, but anyways, the full moon in Virgo for a lot of us is going to be a really good chance to like quite literally, detox our life and just get rid of like some excess stuff, excess baggage, so we can bring in more room for healing, because Pisces energy is very healing in nature. Virgo energy is also very notorious for like acts of service as a love language, as well as Pisces. So full moons are sort of created. Oh my god, I have a visual because these cards. Full moons, as we can see with the moon cycle here, we have, this would be Pisces over here where the sun is, and the moon over here is in Virgo. When we have that opposition between two signs, that's what creates the full moon, when the moon is opposite the sign where the sun is. So like during Aries season, because that's coming up next, when Aries is the sun and the moon goes into Libra, that'll create the full moon. If you catch my drift. New moons are when they're like the same sun and, moon. So when the moon goes into Pisces, we're in Pisces season, we'll be there. But anyways, it's all about that opposition, that push-pull dynamic between wanting to heal on a spiritual level versus wanting to help someone because you care. They're both just very helpful in nature. And if we're thinking about full moons acting as a way of releasing, for many of us, it's going to be sort of allowing ourselves to have some boundaries for once and being like, okay, we're not gonna overextend ourselves for the sake of others. We're gonna put ourselves first. And Virgo energy, as we said, is very, routine oriented, very clean. So for some of us, it's gonna be about releasing, old habits that don't work for us, or releasing expectations about perfection, because Virgo has a perfectionist tendency here. So yeah, those are just some things to be on the lookout for. I talk more about this in the podcast. I'll put the link below if you want to listen. That whole episode's an hour long. So we also talk about Venus and Pisces too, and I go on a lot of rants and tangents about the importance of this full moon. So definitely check out that episode if you're someone who's into podcasts. But for the sake of this video, I do want to keep my little Virgo description short so we have time for the horoscopes. But anyway, so during this Saturday, some ritual ideas, some suggestions that I have to offer. I think, oh my god, excuse me, sorry. I think that it'll be really important to spend the day sort of like quiet by yourself. I know like it's a Saturday, like you're gonna want to go out, but I think if we're thinking about creating space for better habits to come in, to allow more healing, to be more in touch with ourselves, to establish more boundaries, I think it'll be very important that we spend this Saturday, full moon in Virgo, kind of to ourselves and sort of reflecting on, you know, what our boundaries are, where we feel as though people might have like overcrossed us, or what is depleting us, or what isn't really working anymore. And I think it'll be really important to like meditate during that day. As you know, I love meditation. It has changed my life. I have a whole video on that if you want to watch it. But Pisces energy is very in touch with their spiritual side, and we're in Pisces season. Venus is in Pisces. It'll be great to just sit down and relax and meditate, and to focus on like what you want as a person, what you need as a person, and what you need to let go of. Specifically, if you've been really critical of yourself lately, really hard on yourself, that could also, you know, it can also serve as an opportunity to sort of let go of those ideas of perfection, and either like bring in, you know, a new routine for yourself if you're someone who needs a routine, someone who like lacks that discipline. This full moon could be like a good chance for you to sort of be like, hey, like I need to get my life together. I need to bring some routine in. Or on the opposite side, it could also serve as an opportunity for you to be like, I have been so hard on myself lately. I'm trying to force myself to like do things that aren't working. Let's just cut the BS and allow myself to be a human being. It's two different sides of the story here. So just to recap on that, full moon, a lot of energy, very emotional, good for meditation, good for figuring out your boundaries, no more overextending yourself. Also, detoxing your life, cutting out the shit that doesn't matter anymore, so you can bring in more healing, more boundaries, focus on you. Also, we have bringing in a new routine if that's something that you need, or, you know, letting go of this idea of perfection. So that is what to expect with the full moon in Virgo. As I said, we talk all about the aspects in the podcast episode, so definitely go ahead and check that out. But I want to get into the horoscopes. So let's discuss, you know, how this is going to affect you specifically. Now, important, you can listen for your sun sign. I based them off your rising sign, and I did them in pairs. So whatever your rising sign is, that's the one that you're gonna want to listen for, and I'll try to leave timestamps below. I'm not a Virgo, so if someone beats me to it, that would be great, because I'm not that organized. But anyway, you know, maybe this full moon in Virgo will be a great chance for me to get organized. But anyway, listen for your rising sign. That's what they're based off of. So Virgo and Pisces risings. This full moon is going to be a great opportunity for those boundaries. You are the stars of this full moon, both of you, because, you know, for Virgo rising specifically, this is going to be a really good opportunity for you to stop being so hard on yourself for the way that you appear to others. If you've been feeling very much like, oh my God, people think this about me, people think that about me, very in your head about the way that people perceive you, this full moon will be a really good chance for you to sort of cut that inner chatter out and sort of focus on allowing your authentic self to be seen without questioning what other people are thinking about you. And, you know, I want to mention that what other people are thinking about you, because the sun is in Pisces in your 7th house, highlighting relationships, highlighting things like that. So you might have been really focused on relationships lately, or have been starting to think about, you know, what you want romantically, but also at the same time been simultaneously so worried about how you come across to others, maybe if you're dating or going out. Those are some things that have been kind of weighing on your mind, and this full moon will be a chance for you to sort of cut that out, focus on you, and just let, you know, romance happen naturally. Similarly, for Pisces risings, you have the similar situation, but the reverse. In regards to, you know, what you need to be releasing, you need to be releasing these very high expectations of relationships, or even sort of take a breather from relationships. You've been very, you know, you gravitate towards them. You know, that's something that you enjoy doing. You enjoy the romance, and maybe you've been spending a lot of time thinking about, you know, what you need romantically, that you forget about yourself too. Very similar. That's why we're paired together. Focusing on, you know, yourself, celebrating you. It's your birthday season, Pisces. Well, Pisces risings. Maybe you are a Pisces sun, but Pisces, Venus is in your first house. The sun's in your first house. This is great for glowing up, like strong glow up energy here. Let go of expectations. Stop trying to please others. Let's get into your cards for Virgo and Pisces risings. All right, we got one that flew out. Don't let pride get in your way. So I think that just goes with, you know, what I was just saying. Don't let pride get in your way. Think about who you are, what you want, and just be yourself authentically and don't listen to the BS. Your little affirmation is, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest goods. What I was just saying. Stop being so scared. Just be yourself. It's gonna be fine. Breathe. You don't need to impress other people. The only person you need to impress is yourself. Let's move on. On to the next pair here. We have Leo and Aquarius. So this full moon in Virgo is a great opportunity for you to get your finances together. Specifically, you know, allowing you to let go of this idea that you need to have nice things, that you need to own nice things in order to feel powerful. We have a 2nd and 8th house dynamic situation going on here. So for Leo risings, it's very likely with this full moon in Virgo that you're gonna sort of like take a hit to the heart. I always notice whenever the moon's in my 2nd house, that's usually when my self-confidence dwindles the most. So if you've been feeling very just not confident or feeling like you don't own enough, you don't have enough, that, you know, your finances are out of control, other people have all these nice things that you don't have, this could be a really good opportunity to sort of let go of those, you know, ideas, maybe embrace a minimalistic lifestyle for this full moon, or just focus on getting your finances in order. Same for Aquarius, because it's in the 8th house, which deals with other people's money. So if you've been having really bad credit, you know, kind of like focusing on those type of things. The 8th house is a highly debated house in astrology. We're going to just focus on the financial aspect of it, but sort of needing to feel powerful in that dynamic too, feeling the need that you need to be, you know, at a certain status, at a certain, you know, level of power with a certain amount of control. Those could be some things that you have been thinking a lot about lately. And again, this full moon in Virgo is all about sort of allowing yourself to just let go of that need for control and to stop equating your self-worth to material items such as your finances or, you know, prized possessions. You know, you don't need to have a Louis bag to be considered whole. You don't need to have any of that to be considered, you know, like successful in life. You just need to, again, focus on building good habits that allow you to feel safe and secure. So that's the tea for Leo and Aquarius. Let's get your moon card here. You got 2. Congrats. Don't let your past hold you back, as well as expect powerful change. I feel like this could relate to, if we're thinking about the 2nd and 8th house situation going on here, past trauma. Maybe it's likely that when you were young, you felt like you didn't have enough, that you weren't good enough, or whatever the situation may be, and sort of, you know, felt that you were existing in a state of lack. I know both of you, Leo and Aquarius risings, in nature enjoy having like a very curated specific style. Maybe you might have been bullied for that or felt as though like, you know, the things that you own, the things that you buy, the things that you do aren't good enough. Maybe someone made fun of you back then. And, you know, that's why maybe you dwindled your self-expression in a way because of what other people had to say. And that is the tea on that. Don't do that anymore. We're releasing that, releasing it. Expect powerful change. So something big might happen for you both very soon. You never know. Anyway, your affirmation card is, in any moment I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. I love this card, honestly, because, you know, I said I love to meditate. This is all about taking a step back and just being in the moment and not thinking about, you know, what lies next, what's coming up next, and just allowing things to be exactly as they are. So love that for you. Let's move on to the next pair. So moving on, we have my buddies over here, Cancer and Capricorn. So Cancer and Capricorn risings, I'm a Capricorn rising, so I'm gonna say we here, but this full moon for us is all about sort of sorting out, you know, our like, I want to say like sorting out the way that we communicate to others, the story that we tell to ourselves, our inner dialogue, but also at the same time, it's about like getting clear on like where you want to go in life, whether that's like educationally or spiritually, because the 9th house is all about those things. It's actually really funny because if you're in school, this could be a really good time to sort of get your studies, you know, in alignment, really focus hard on getting good grades, performing well in school, but also not being like a psychopath about the way that you do your homework. That's only for if you're in school, but for many of us, this is going to be about releasing, you know, habits around like gossiping or talking like negatively to yourself or about others, because the 3rd house rules communication, but the 9th house is a lot about spirituality. It's about your higher mind. It's about, you know, like, did I say philosophy already? Philosophy, like those woke topics. So this is a really good opportunity to start reading some good books, getting really deep into your spiritual side in that way as well. I know I have my list of Deepak Chopra's 7 spiritual laws on my mirror, and I'm like, wow, I've forgotten about that. I need to, you know, reel that back in. Very on brand, 9th house full moon. But for us, it's all about sort of tuning out that negative self-talk, focusing on our higher good, leveling ourselves up mentally, spiritually, you know, and again, if you're in school, great opportunity to really focus on your studies and take yourself more seriously in that department. So that was like way too many, sorry. I don't want to have like 6 cards. I just want 1. Okay, cool, thank you. Show the world the real you. Aw, I like that card. I think if we're thinking about this in regards to communication, maybe we've been holding back saying certain things, or holding back, you know, like putting ourselves out there in a verbal manner, whether that be on Twitter, YouTube, whatever situation. Maybe you've been, you know, there's something you want to say and you haven't been saying it, or there's something you've been thinking about a lot lately and you haven't allowed yourself to really dive too deep into it. The Show the World the Real You card is kind of your go ahead to just be, it's very similar vibes to everyone else here. Be your authentic self and just like stop the negative chatter and, you know, connect to your higher self on a spiritual level. This is about your higher self here. Then we have my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I manifest. So if we're thinking about our minds here, our mental space, the thoughts that we think really do control the way that we behave to others, the way that we feel about ourselves, and they actually create our reality. So this will be a really good opportunity for like scripting, writing, focusing on what you want to manifest for yourself. That's actually something I've been taking very seriously lately. So allowing yourself the opportunity to really think selfishly, like what do I want, where do I want to go, and creating these positive affirmations in your head to allow yourself to like level up and get to that place to manifest your reality. And again, it's like the power of your mind, the power of the thoughts that are in your head, what you think again creates your reality. So you want to make sure that you're speaking nicely to yourself, because we're leveling up in regards to our higher self. I keep saying that, but you get the point. But anyway, next pair. Moving on, we have Gemini and Sagittarius. So this full moon is all about balancing your work life and your home life, because it's in the 4th and 10th house here. So if you've been finding yourself really, you know, overly focused on work that your home life is a disaster, or if you've been so cooped up at home, maybe you've forgotten to focus on your career goals because there's so much going on in the house with your family that you're forgetting about your career goals. This full moon in Virgo is a perfect opportunity to sort out, you know, the boundaries between work and home, especially if you're someone who works from home. This could be really important for you to figure out times to shut the laptop off, meditate, do what you need to do, cook, clean, or certain times where you're like, I need to stop being so, you know, anal in the kitchen and, you know, cleaning everything as a means of distracting myself from doing my work, because I know I do that too, where I'm like, oh, just take out the garbage. Oh, let me just do the dishes real quick, start doing chores to procrastinate work. Maybe you're someone like that who needs a boundary there. Or maybe, you know, your family or your home or your roommates or whoever you live with really interferes with the work that you do. Drawing a boundary there, that'll be really important, but also allowing yourself to figure out a healthy balance between work life and home life are going to be super important for you here, whatever that may mean to you. Your card that I have here is, oh, you have 2 as well. Ah, ironic. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. I think that goes without saying here. Find that fine line, that balance between what do you need to be efficient, to get things done, home life, work life. You want to create a nice peaceful space for you to exist in, for you to get your work done, for you to relax when you need to. And, you know, striking that balance between, you know, overdoing yourself in one department versus allowing yourself to engage in the other department there. And we also have prosperity lies ahead. So for those of you who've been focusing on your career goals, I think that this full moon in Virgo will be a really great opportunity for you to get really clear on where you want to go in regards to your career life, your work life, you know, whatever your goals are, and achieve success. The 10th house also deals with public recognition. So maybe you start a new project that's very public and allows you to have a lot of success. Your card is, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. I also really love this card because to me it's saying like, I deserve to have good things, and I think that that's something you need to remind yourself, especially if you've been having a hard time, you know, with boundaries between family and work, and sort of, you know, in both of those situations, there's someone who's in authority usually, whether it's your landlord, your mortgage, you know, your roommates, your family members, you know, whoever. There's usually an authority that can sometimes overstep you, and then in work, you know, your boss, or if you are your own boss, like certain expectations might overpower you. And I think that this card is saying to you both, Gemini and Sagittarius risings, that you deserve to have good things, and what other people say to you, what other people tell you to do, those expectations don't have to restrict you. You can rise above them. You don't have to follow those expectations. You can let go of them and step into your own light there. Anyway, moving on to the next pair, we have Taurus and Scorpio. So this full moon, this one I like for both of you, Taurus and Scorpio risings, because it's within the 5th and the 11th house. And the 5th house is like the fun house. It's romantic, it's casual, it's lighthearted. And the 11th house is like friends and like groups. And if we're thinking about releasing things within the 5th and the 11th house, for many of you, this can be like cutting out toxic friends, or if you've been really overdoing it when you go out, you know, like maybe you've been, if you're of legal age, like drinking too much, or being so casual that like you have no sense of discipline anymore, or you've been so caught up in quick romances, or again, if we're in the friendship department, like involved in groups that just don't serve our best interests, this full moon in Virgo will allow you to let go of those and to again create space for healing, to create authentic friendships, to, you know, have fun moments where you can go out with people who make you feel good and don't make you feel like trash the next morning. Good habits in those departments, you know, again, if we're thinking about boundaries, that's a big theme with this full moon in Virgo. Boundaries between like, okay, maybe I still want to go out and have fun, but we're also in a pandemic, so don't be doing some crazy stuff, but like, I do want to go out and have fun, but also I need to like maybe stop after a certain time, make sure that I'm home early, or maybe I only see my one toxic friend or like my one gossiping friend like once or twice a month. Having boundaries there in order to keep yourself in check will be really helpful. Your card here, yeah, again, there's like so many that just flew out. Oh, okay, 2 have been chosen. Have faith in your dreams and a time for healing. So I think that these cards are really nice. Maybe it's likely that you have been sort of focused on pleasing others, pleasing, you know, your group of friends. Group mentality might have gotten to the best of you lately, and sort of, all right, your cards have chosen themselves already. That was so quick. But maybe you have been so focused on, you know, what the group wants, what your friends want, you know, what your casual situationship partner wants if you're in one of those situations, or, you know, getting caught up in your emotions that you have a hard time trusting that what you are trying to manifest can come to fruition, because it's not the norm from other people, or it's not, you know, what your friends would expect from you. And I think that this card is a nice reminder that, you know, what you want doesn't have to be what other people want for you. And in regards to a time for healing, I think many of you might have been recovering from toxic friendships, or like been in situations where you haven't really felt as though you can connect to those people fully, and maybe sort of retreated a little bit and sheltered a certain like part of your personality for the sake of pleasing others. And this time for healing, I think, is allowing you to have space to feel sad for yourself, because if you don't sit there and feel sad about what happened and allow yourself to grieve over it, then it's going to sort of stay within you for a while. And a time for healing is very much like allowing yourself to go through the motions of feeling upset and feeling hurt, to allow yourself to recognize that your feelings matter and that your feelings are important, and, you know, again, creating space for you to bring in more healing energy, attract people who are at the same vibration of you. What is that quote? Like, your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, allowing yourself to fully let go so you can create a new environment for yourself that's one that is in alignment with what you want for yourself and for your dreams. And you have two little quotes here. The first one is, obstacles are detours in the right direction. I regularly remind myself of this one. Basically, if something hasn't been working out, just know that it's for a good reason. That's all I'm going to say on that one. And then the last one is, my capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. So again, we see this sort of ability to like take a step back and be with yourself, and to reel things back in and allow your emotions to be felt, allow your, you know, like, just allow yourself to go through that process of feeling and, you know, like being upset, so that way when, you know, the time comes, all of that stuff has been released, you can tune in to the energy of love and, you know, move on and create something new for yourself. Love this for you. And lastly, we have Aries and Libra. This is in your Aries and Libra rising. This is in your 6th and 12th house. The 6th house is all about our routines, health and wellness, and the 12th house can deal with, you know, our subconscious mind, our dreams, our like fears in a way. And for Aries and Libra risings, this is a really good opportunity for you to sort of, you know, face those fears that have been like hurting you, or like that have been like hindering you from going after what you want. Maybe there's a lot of doubt in your head that's saying like, oh, I can't do this, oh, it's not going to work out. Or maybe your routine itself isn't allowing you the space that you need to go after the certain dreams that you have. Dreams are a very common theme with this full moon, especially with Neptune involved. I keep saying that. Well, I haven't said anything about Neptune, but that's why. And you know, allowing yourself to be confident and take the jump and go after what you want, and stop expecting perfection, because when you expect perfection, you hold yourself back and then you don't go after what you want. So this full moon for Aries and Libra risings will be about sort of making time to go little by little, step by step after the goals that you have for yourself, after your dreams, regardless of, you know, fear stopping you or any doubt getting in the way, and just sort of taking it baby steps. And also with the 6th house here, this is also a good opportunity for you to reorganize your life, restructure your life, and sort of, you know, figure out what routine works best for you. If you've been trying to force yourself into something that doesn't work, or if you haven't been paying enough attention to your sleep habits or your health or drinking enough water, this full moon will be a really good opportunity to get your body physically back into alignment, so you have the energy to go after your dreams here. Now, your card is, see, a new romantic cycle begins. Maybe some of you have been, I'm getting another card in case you're not in a relationship, but maybe some of you have been, you know, afraid to go after what you want in regards to relationships. That could mean, you know, several different things. It could mean taking a break from relationships. It can mean, you know, cutting off someone. It can mean going after someone new. This is the card of Libra, so it's all about coming into balance. So maybe there's been some fear surrounding striking a balance within the relationships that you have. I also have Hold Your Vision, which is also a really great card in regards to the things that you want in life, because if we're thinking about fear stopping you from going after it, Hold Your Vision is just serving as a reminder that, you know, you really want what you really want, and, you know, expectations of perfection and, you know, other obstacles getting in the way aren't like worth more than what you want. So I think Hold Your Vision, just a reminder, if you're feeling down or feeling scared about going after what you want, that like this is your vision, this is what you want for yourself, and that matters, and that's something that should be motivating to you. And your card is, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. And I think that this is, again, just a nice little gentle reminder that fear doesn't need to stop you. Focus on what makes you you, what, you know, again, if we're thinking about health too, like tuning into your mental health, getting like clear on your mental health goals, getting clear on your physical health goals, and coming into your higher self, focusing on your inner light, creating good habits so you can, you know, move forward with confidence and move forward from a nurtured place, that you're able to see that success, and it'll also help you stop feeling so afraid. Specifically, if we see the lens of love, the only thing that can overcome fear is love. Anyways, that is it for this little mini horoscope thing. Sorry if I was talking fast. I did not want this to be a long video because I know I don't have a very long attention span either, so I get it. But anyways, if you're curious, you know, to know more about how this impacts your chart specifically, you know, in case it's aspecting any things, forming, you know, any conjunctions or whatever to any other placements in your chart, I do have readings open on Hey Hero. So Hey Hero is like sort of a website that allows you to book little mini readings with me. They're about 4 minutes long. I send you a video recording and I can look at your chart specifically and give you a very personalized, custom tailored full moon ritual or horoscope in case you're curious to know how this impacts you and your chart specifically. I'll have the link for that in the description, and there's also a promo code. You can use the code STARS, STARS, for 30% off your reading. I'm also available on Intro. Those are like quick little FaceTime calls. If you want to book with me, you can also use the same code STARS for $20 off your order. We can sit down and chat face to face about this full moon. And don't forget to tune into the latest episode of Blame It on the Stars podcast for all the tea on the full moon. It's a lot more in depth than this YouTube video is. We talk about aspects, we talk about expectations, we talk about a lot of it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and support this new channel. And I guess leave a comment down below if you like these astrology videos. Feedback is always greatly appreciated. I have no idea what I'm doing here, so I'd love to hear from you. And let me know what you're planning to do for this full moon in Virgo on Saturday. All right, I'm gonna go. Bye.